exhausted at 8 fucking a.m. Like, I didn't get into pickup to wake up at this hour, alright? Like, this is not the plan. Not the plan. If you wake up at 8 a.m. from pickup, you're supposed to be waking up next to a girl and like sneaking out of her apartment. That's the only way.
Outside, pull down on the red tab to inflate the vest, or blow into the red tube on the side of the vest. There is also a light that will illuminate upon contact with water. Never inflate the vest inside the airplane. If necessary, an infant life vest will be distributed by a flight attendant. A safety card shows how to use the vest.
The crew will now be coming through to do a final cabin check. We'll be back after takeoff with more information about your flight.
Sometimes the shit you have to do to get good is a little ridiculous, right? Sometimes like the thing that's like the most linear path is the most obvious path that everybody's doing it. It's kind of weird because if you're doing something obvious, everybody else is doing it, you're never going to set yourself apart. But if you can find something unique, you find something that you're doing that other people aren't doing, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but if it does work, it can work in a big way, right? Because we're in a very like sort of like competitive, everything we're competing with human beings. If you don't do something different than everybody else, the only thing that you can set yourself apart with is more effort. And that only goes so far, right? So that's where having a unique approach, there's a lot of value in that, especially if you can find the right unique approach. The thing about opening is everybody does it wrong in that they're very put on, right? They make it like this big deal, big event. Last thing the girl wants is to be like a big event. She wants it to just happen, be natural, be smooth, be fun. So you need to be that same way too. Don't make it a big event. Don't telegraph that shit. Don't make game look and feel like game. Make it look and feel like it came from the heart. Just happened. I've never done this before. I'm just perfect at it. So we have the text game webinar tomorrow, so I want to announce it to the world, make sure we get as many people online so we can, share my secrets as possible. So I'm going to do Facebook Live for the first time ever. Hopefully I don't fuck it up, but I have 2 assistants here in case I do. So, I'm training wheels on Facebook Live. Oh yeah, that's what I'm eating while I'm doing it, yes. Hey guys, what's up? Here in Chicago on tour. We're doing the opening mastery tomorrow, but I also have a big announcement, which is we are doing the live training for a text game tomorrow. Get on, I have a link on there, so that should be pretty sick. That said, I'm here eating. I don't know if I can get this on I'm trying to get my dessert on camera here. Got the dessert on camera. Having a bite. Owen would be angry, but you know what, who cares? 4 a.m. day before the product launch. Got the crew sequestered in a hotel room, putting it all together. I'm fucking tired, but I'll sleep when I'm dead, I suppose. And at this time tomorrow, we will have actually officially launched, and then I can actually go to sleep and have a clear mind and a clear conscience. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But on the other hand, when you get it down, it's actually really, really easy, right? It's actually literally a formula. It's like, imagine, in a certain way, text is hard because there's less that you can convey, right? You can't convey your nonverbals, you can't convey your body language, your tone of voice. On the other hand, text is really easy because there's less that she's conveying. So it's very, very easy to like read exactly what she's saying. So yeah, I just finished the launch. Literally just got off the webinar. I'm about to run to opening mastery right now and hopefully not be late. Please avoid that. And the other thing to avoid is this, the step in front. Please avoid that, okay? The 90-degree angle is super predatory. Like if she sees you coming out of the peripheral vision and can't make you out, she's gonna go immediately into like a fight or flight response. She's gonna get like just scared and intimidated, okay? So don't do that. And then the jumping in front thing, we can almost demonstrate it, but like if I jump in front of you and you have to change course for me, is that pretty comfortable for you? No. Probably not, right? If her first response to you is unnatural, uncomfortable, that's probably not going to go very well for you. So you want to avoid that 90-degree angle, avoid jumping in front. Thank you very much. Go ahead and see you. Thank you. Good man.
Rooney with it, sends it in, the flick on is there, Topper is there, and he's on the line and his hat clear by Stones. Throw in, we've had the 95 minutes. Bravo gets his hands down to it to block the shot. How long will Mark Vattenberg add on to the end of stoppage time? Herrera with the cross. Isabel lets it bounce awkwardly. He did well, and the whistle goes.
We're on our way to opening mastery San Francisco. We're going to film this one, put it out for the world, for posterity, teach everybody how to open and not be weird and creepy and stuff. So yeah, pretty excited about that in the taxi on the way over right now, just trying to get my thoughts about me so I can deliver an A1 quality, insane, world-class performance. Who already knows what a chode is, actually? Yeah? Fair enough. What's a chode? You said chump? Yeah, okay. I think that's a taint, actually. But yes, but I believe that the chode is the penis that's wider than it is long. I think that's the technical definition. All right, I think that's what a chode is. Someone may double check me on that, but I believe that's what it is. In any case, chode is what we use to represent sort of all the lame, like pathetic male behaviors that will never lead to sex, right? And choding over is something like this. So let's say, let me grab my phone as a visual for this. Let's say if I were going to open this man in the back of the room here, if I were to walk over and my walkover looks like, hi, excuse me. Do you know what time it is? Hi, excuse me? No? Okay. Right. By the time I even get there, before I even say hi, do I have like any chance? No. Pretty much no, right? Because I've conveyed so much. I've told him so much, or her, so much about who I am in such a negative way already, I basically have no chance. Okay, and she's just saying like, oh God, here it comes. Oh God, no, God, oh shit, he's coming. All right. Avoid, avoid, avoid. What's the better way to do that approach? A better way to do that approach, if there was a clear path, then we'd just walk that path. If there is no path, hey, what's up, how you doing? Oh, 1 second, I'll be 1 second. And just go do it, all right? Here's a good general rule of thumb to use for all opening situations. How would you open if they were already your friend, right? What would you do in that case? Right, a lot of guys go, should I go from the right side to the left side? I don't know. What would you do if it was a friend? Should I walk with him or stop him? I don't know. What would you do if it was already a friend? Or already a girl you're sleeping with is another good one, okay? What would you do if you're certain of a good response? That's the right way to open in most cases. So keep that in your mind. And choding over is never the right way. There is no context where that's a good one.
Oh man, it was awesome. Way more value than what I paid for, and it's just like, it was good. Everybody's got to go check it out. If you don't know Todd, get there. I had a lot of sticking points, and I just feel like he clarified a lot of things. It's like the tip of the iceberg for me, just into growth and just understanding everything, put everything in the framework. So, yeah, I'm super stoked. The walking genius. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's probably one of the best RST instructors, in my opinion, right now. So,
my thoughts are a great event. I'm hungry as shit and I'm cold, but really, really great event. The guys were amazing, actually. Really participatory. Took to this stuff like ducks to water. Enthusiastic. I even helped the guys do an approach outside the event, so that was kind of cool. Nice little extra. Yeah, it's fun. Very happy. San Francisco. Yeah. So I'm in the car on the way to the airport. Got some customer service requests, so handling it out. A couple people, trying to get the product, trying to help them make sure that they can actually get their text game handled. So I guess we never sleep here. So that was an interesting event last night, and actually one thing I want to point out is there's a kind of a good student and a bad student in game, right? The good student is the person that always comes into it as though they don't know everything, and they're always open to wanting to learn more, right? And then the bad student is the person that always thinks they know stuff and is trying to show what they know and ask a ton of questions, not even ask questions, but they don't ask questions, they tell their own opinions all the time instead of looking to learn, right? Whenever you're in a learning environment, which should be most of the time in life, don't think, how can I show off how much I know? Just think, how can I improve? How can I improve that little bit? Because the people that really know stuff don't have to tell you, they show you, right? Michael Jordan doesn't walk in and say I'm a good basketball player. He goes out on the court and he stunts on you, right? So let your actions speak and take that learning mentality, right? Don't ever try and impress anyone with what you know. Try and impress yourself with how much you're learning. That'd be you go to buy a car, you show up on the lot, and he starts just making conversation with you. He's do you like any sports? Right? And you're okay, well maybe it's related to what the car's gonna store, whatever. He starts talking about that. He's yeah, cool. Are you married? Do you have kids? Okay, I kind of dig that. And he starts telling you about his kids. You're what the fuck? What's going on here? Right? And he starts asking you random, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Or starts talking politics with you. And 20 minutes in, he has yet to say the word car. How do you feel about this car salesman? Are you happy with this interaction?
He's a lonely guy.
Definitely not, right? You won't get to the fucking point, right? So on the one hand, you don't want to be pushy, but at the same time, if it was completely not pushy, that would be a problem too, okay? Now, most guys in game are that car salesman that refuses to say the word car. Okay, think about that for a second. That's what most guys in game are. They go like chat at the girl or chat with the girl for a really long time, don't show intent, don't move it forward, and they don't ask the girl to make decisions, okay? So I'm going to show you a couple of interactions that I have that are very, very quick instant dates. And the key thing here is, why does she go with me? The answer every time is, because I asked. She goes with me because I asked. Yeah, I was texting my friends to see where they're at. He bumped into me and I literally just got in the door. Oh, my first experience was getting harangued by you. That's hilarious. Yeah? You're going with me. That is what it is.
So high in energy.
Okay.
And how would you do that? Like it's like I'm naturally very outgoing. I talk a lot. It's like you're trying to cut that.
Cool. So that may or may not be good advice. For a lot of people, it is. For a lot of people, being more grounded is good advice, and so it's quite possibly good advice for you. It may or may not actually be. And the reason, though, is if you're acting differently with a girl than you act with your friends, that's probably not how you should act. So for most guys, being more grounded is the right advice, because when they're with their friends, they're fairly grounded, and then they put on this persona around girls, and so the like all over the top stuff is indicating a persona. Right? Does that make sense? But if your normal way of interacting with the world is pretty high energy, trying to be low energy with girls is exactly the opposite. Being low energy would be putting on a persona. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if you truly,
how would you build the intensity?
yeah. So if you truly do act that way in general, then it's okay to act that way. Now that said, if you want to escalate, escalation is usually done through some level of intensity and social pressure. Okay. So what you need to learn is what's called fractionating. Okay. Fractionating basically means just going back and forth between two vibes or two moods or whatever. So blah 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 blah. Hey, let's be real now. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, blah, 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 right? And what you do is you just slam yourself into that persona you need to be for that moment. Okay? And as long as you can be the right persona for that moment of escalation, you don't have to be that persona for the entire set.
Fucking strong message, or you're very cool.
Can I take a selfie of this?
Yeah, sure.
A picture.
So yeah, he's having me autograph his phone. I like it. All right. Sure. There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
They have the approach.
So I just finished Vancouver opening master. The guys are really amazing crowd. I had one guy who wanted me to sign his cell phone. I felt a little weird about that actually. I was like thinking, what do I sign on the cell phone that like won't be weird every single time he gets a number from a girl? But it was good. It was very, very humbling and flattering at the same time. And I don't know, just it's cool that I guess that I have that impact. That's cool. Yeah, it's always surprising. It's kind of hard to get used to, but it's cool. So if you look around, the streets are packed with people just getting off work, hustling home. I'm so glad that I've never had a real job. I am actually. Now, for those of you who do have real jobs, that doesn't mean like that's not like a knock or whatever. But whatever you do, understand you're in business for yourself, right? If you have a job, you are your own business. It's your job within that company to do such a good job. You're irreplaceable. You get raises. You get the freedom to do work that you care about, that kind of stuff. And that all comes from effort. Or it's your obligation, responsibility, privilege to go do something on your own outside of it. The thing is, don't ever get in the employee mindset. Don't ever get in the mindset that you're following somebody else's orders and that you aren't thinking for yourself. Because as soon as you do that, you'll be a worse employee, and also you're going to make yourself miserable. You're not going to achieve the things you want in life. So even if you're an employee, even if you're in a job, you're not in a job, you're always working for yourself. Okay, so you want to have that appearance of spontaneity. What does that mean on the open? First thing it means is what I call go immediately, which is the second you make eye contact, you have to do something. So if you and I make eye contact right now, hey, what's up, how you doing? Or whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? But I gotta do something right in that moment. And this all kind of falls under the same frame as open the way you would if you already knew them as well. But specifically, the second they notice you're there, the second you make eye contact, you have to do something immediately. If you try and like hold it off and like do it later, it's gonna be weird and creepy. Good concept in game anything you do to try and make it not awkward will make it awkward. Because the very fact you're aware of the idea that it could be awkward is an awkward idea. Make sense? Okay. So go immediately. Next thing with this appearance of spontaneity, this is the vibe you should have, and I kind of love this phrase. I've never done this before, but I'm perfect at it. Okay? Almost everything that you can do in game to make yourself attractive, it's basically mimicking the values of mimicking the behaviors of a high-value guy. Right? But the girl doesn't want the person that got these behaviors from doing 20,000 approaches. She wants the guy that got these behaviors from just like living it as part of their life. That's the ideal. Now, it's not really fair because like what they're asking of us, what they're basically asking is this. I want you to walk up to me and have something to say. I want it to be good. I want you to be totally confident. I want you to have excellent body language, excellent eye contact, know exactly how to move the interaction forward in such a way that I don't feel slutty at any point. I want you to know exactly how to touch me and sexually escalate, and how to solve anything that comes up between me and my friends and every other weird scenario that can happen. But I want this to be the first time you ever approached a girl. That's not fair. That's not fair, but that's literally like the female fantasy, right? Is that you're perfect at it, but this is like this one time, like I never do this, or I was motivated by you, and it makes it special, right? Because again, if it was special, it's a win for them, right? If it's approach number 50 of the day, that doesn't feel special for them, like in principle, so it feels like a loss. Final opening mastery. I'm going to make it amazing, go out with a bang. That said, it'll be good to deliver the speech one last time. Every line, every joke, everything. Last time, never again to be seen on the face of the earth. Mindset, super important. What is the mindset on an open? Most guys, if you ask them, they'll say this. They'll say, be confident, you're the shit. That's the mindset on the open. What would that look like? Hey, I was wondering if you've noticed my pecs. They're quite large. Yeah. Yeah, other things are quite large too, but let's not get into that, huh? Yeah, that's right. How does that come off as an opener?
Try hard.
Douchey, yes. Well, douchey can be a good thing. Try hard for sure, right? The philosophy here kind of is the rich guy, the guy who's really rich, doesn't have to tell you he's rich. Like Warren Buffett. Does everybody know who Warren Buffett is? Most people? Okay. Yeah. Like third richest man in the world, fourth, something like second or fourth or something like that. He doesn't have to go around saying like, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. He just owns half the businesses in America, that's all. But like, he doesn't go around telling everybody he's rich. You just know it. He just is rich, okay? Truly wealthy people don't tell you I'm rich. Truly, people who truly are the shit don't go around telling you they're the shit. It just comes out obliquely. It just is exuded by their personality, all right? So you don't want to be 100% on the shit. The mindsets you do want to have, I kind of listed them in order. This is the most important, this is the least important. The most important, people don't think about, is being blank and clear. It's not thinking ahead. If you're thinking ahead on the open, you're already fucked. Okay? So yeah, you've just watched me working my ass off, going to all these cities, all this kind of stuff. And you may think, you know what? Todd's life looks really hard. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it actually is. But here's the thing, right? I think that when it's hard, there's two types of hard. There's the hard where it's like forced upon you and it's painful and you didn't choose it and you don't find meaning and purpose in it. And then there's the hard where you're striving for something. You have a vision, you have a purpose, you have a goal, and you're working hard at it. And that kind of hard I've always loved. In fact, that's always been my favorite feeling in life is, I think they call it distress and eustress is like the formal term for it. Distress is like the bad kind of stress where it's like painful and awful to you and just miserable. Eustress is where you find meaning and you're pushing and you choose to put it on yourself because there's a reason behind it. And that's the feeling I think that keeps you alive. That's the feeling of growth. That's the feeling of achievement. That's the feeling of success. And it's actually why, did you know, I don't know if you know this, when people retire, a very high percentage of people, they retire and then they like die in the next year because they stopped having a purpose. They stopped having meaning. They stopped having as much stress in their life, but they stopped having meaning. When they didn't have that meaning, they just gave up. They quit, all right? So paradise in life, like heaven on earth, it's not about not working. It's not about doing nothing and sitting on your ass. It's about doing work that you find purposeful.